SMTN.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Shin Megami Tensei Network link 397. I'm your host, Spencer Presley, and joining me for a very special food-filled reunion, which is very funny because I skipped out on breakfast this morning, and I will definitely regret that by the end of the show. I'm here with special guest, I wouldn't say author, but Google just gives you the title of chef. Jarrett, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Now, do you have to pay Google to give you chef before? Like, do you feel like, do you wake up every day now with the chef hat? Are you part Swedish chef? How did you lose author and become chef? Is this an upgrade or a downgrade?
I don't actually know because I claimed that tile like years ago, and I think at the time um it was just author, and for some reason chef has popped in there, and I like in I can't think of any place online where it says that I'm a chef. Like I in my bio it's a former chef. And my bio appears like on a bunch of different like convention websites and like other appearance things that I've done. So I I guess maybe that's part of it. It's just like it's bad. It's bad like sweeping the internet and just like pulling a term. It's like, oh, chef. Let's just say chef. Sure.
That is definitely the most Google Gemini answer out there as we continue our AI discussion of like that's why I love any time now you look up something on Google, I just immediately have to imagine, okay, what if 50% of what I'm reading is wrong right now? Just that's what I have to take at face value.
Yeah, it's like what are we sure that this is better, gang? Because I'm pretty positive it's not. I think we have made internet worse.
You know what's funny? We keep saying that every year, but at the same time, it's like instead of raising the ceiling, we're just finding a lower basement. We're like, wow, look, it can get lower than this. We thought we found it.
Yeah,
We thought we found the bottom. We were very wrong.
I mean, listen, I've been on 4chan. Like the the bottom the bottom was already pretty low.
You know, I better be careful about putting this out there. You might lose the chef title. It might just go to 4chan user when we look up your name
Oh
on
no.
Google.
4chan user chef author. It's like, no, 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 don't.
Is that like I gotta imagine, is that like the equivalent polar opposite of New York Times best-selling author, 4chan user? We
Yes.
just got that next to your title.
Yeah. Low comma redditor.
Yeah, we've got your Discord mods, the Reddit mods, and then a weird gray space in between 4 to 2chan user.
Oh boy.
Now, Jarrett, besides definitely not looking at your Google SEO things all day, who are you? What would people know you from? And how have you been doing recently? Feel free to answer those in any order.
Oh gosh. Okay. Who am I? Boy, who am I indeed? Um, well, besides what Google has to say, I am a former chef. I'm an author. I write comics and graphic novels. I write cookbooks. Um, Most notably, for the purposes of this podcast, the Persona official cookbook, um, among a whole bunch of others. And I'm also a food journalist. Um, as to how I'm doing, I'm fine. uh, in the grand scheme of things, the world's burning down around us. It feels, but personally and professionally, like doing fine despite, boy, just bad stuff happening all around.
That is true. Tax day was yesterday.
Truly horrendous. I had to wait until the very last minute to do mine, just because of like deadlines and stuff. And I for the last time did them myself. Um, and afterwards, I realized that I had just like, for the 3 or 4 hours it took me to do my taxes, I just had like constant flop sweat. Like I was just having a consistent anxiety response. The
I'm just like imagining you just turned into like Ted Mosby from Scrubs, just like an truly unexplainable level of sweat coming from your
Yeah,
body.
exactly. And yeah, I finished and was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go run some errands. I'm gonna get some lunch. And then like I realized that I just had decision paralysis for the rest of the day. Like I couldn't decide what to eat, couldn't decide what to watch to wind down. And I was like, oh, this is bad.
Well, what's funny is like, because I imagine it, most of your stuff's probably all got to be like 1099 forms,
It
right?
is all 1099s, yeah.
Which, for anyone out there who doesn't know, it's basically the equivalent of if you thought taxes was the government holding a gun to your head saying, give us money, we won't tell you how much. 1099 forms are basically, I hope you saved 50% of your paycheck in a separate account, or else I'm about to literally rob you.
Yeah. Yep. And I did have money set aside for paying. This is thrilling content, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you might not know this. In the last year, we've transitioned from video games. I'm actually just a Dave Ramsey substitute podcast where we sometimes talk JRPGs, and we have call-ins waiting right now where someone's going to tell us about how their significant other just spent 12 grand on Magic the Gathering cards, and we're going to make them feel very bad about it.
You know what? I'd be fine with that.
My only problem with Dave Ramsey, and like I've never listened to a full thing of his stuff outside of clips. The only thing he has like, and I don't get irked by like little things very much. There is something about the way that dude answers every phone call with better than I should be. It just like I could just feel how much more rich and how much that guy thinks down on me, even though I will never meet him for the rest of my life. I'm like, listen, Dave Ramsey, I'm very aware that you're gonna have more money than I will look at in my life. Could you just answer one day the phone and just be like, I'm fine. You don't gotta be like, yes, I am still continuously very wealthy.
Dave Ramsey's the every dollar guy, right?
All I remember is like he's the dude who's got like the book cover he's been recycling for 20 years of like him cutting the credit card in half with like a big shit-eating grin. Like that's about it.
Sure, yeah. I think he also has an app, like a budgeting app. Um, I think that's him. Um, and that is actually the budgeting app that I use.
This episode of the podcast brought to you by Dave Ramsey's budgeting app. Use promo code Spencer. Fucking really blew that one, but you know what? It doesn't matter. He said it anyway.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, this is exactly what I thought we would be talking about: budgeting and taxes.
Well, I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to look up this app now because in my brain, if you told me Dave Ramsey had a budgeting app, I legitimately would just think it's you type in a question like it's a chat bot, and you go, "Can I buy Panda Express today?" And he just says no. He just always says no. Be like, man, I save so much money now that I follow your advice.
Yeah, he's like, "Do you want to be rich like me, or like, what are we doing?"
That's true. I mean, but listen, it's one of those things that like Dave Ramsey himself, he kneeled down, a pope-like figure in his own rights. He said, "Listen here, Jarrett. Unless you write the official RuneScape cookbook, I don't know if I can guarantee your financial security in this year."
I listen. I feel the same way. That's how that is occasionally how I accept a gig. Like, oh geez, I had a lot of stuff to pay for this year. Like, I've got a I've got a wedding to pay for probably next year. Uh, yeah, I guess I will write this cookbook.
Okay, you definitely need to do that thing that I don't know who started it, but like the thing of like sending invitations to people in companies who will never go. You have to send a wedding invite to Dave Ramsey. He might actually just send you like an IOU at that point. He'll be like the opposite of a gift. He'll be like, "I'm not coming, but if you'd like, here's five. You can donate $5 to my show."
You know what's really funny about that is that my partner's last name is Ramsey. Um, so maybe Dave will think that it's a distant relative.
I mean, listen, that's a last name you gotta take. I don't know if you guys are gonna do the hyphen thing or like how the last name shift works, but it's like your last name. Obviously, you've got the recognition now on it. Like, we're not gonna reprint all these books if you change your last name, but if it leads to Dave Ramsey thinking you're the third cousin, it's a shot worth
I
taking.
think so. If I'm just trying to get in that will.
Dude, that dude's will, I can guarantee you, Dave Ramsey's will just says no. It just says no. You could be Dave Ramsey's wife of like 50 plus years and then be like, no, I don't think he's giving me anything. I think he's going to tell me, I think he's going to be like, Susan, I think you should have saved up a little harder on your own.
Why don't you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, Mrs. Ramsey?
The only day of that dude's life where I will definitely send a very snarky tweet out saying, I guess he's not doing better than he could be after all. The day of Dave Ramsey's funeral.
Oh my gosh.
Well, everybody, besides complaining about taxes in the most millennial way possible, I did have a couple of fun questions. Well, actually, so if you don't remember, last year we had Jarrett on because we had announced or pre-orders were up for the Persona official cookbook. And I wanted you to know while I was doing more research for having you back on for this episode, I don't know what I typed in to make it come up because it was like putting in your name and the cookbook for some kind of Google search, and a Reddit thread was in like the top first page or something. It wasn't like the top result, but a little eerily high. And one of the first questions of this was, how official is this official cookbook? Like, we're making bootleg cookbooks over here.
Yeah,
So I was like, I wanted to kind of ask him, be like, hey, how's the reception been? Because obviously, like, I'm in a circle of people who are pretty much just instantly suckering into buying this thing no matter what. But I was just kind of curious, like, now that it's been out for, oh my God, what? Because it came out,
he came out in
I
September.
remember it was supposed to be September. Yeah, I couldn't remember exactly. So it's been at least, let's see, wait, October, November. Yeah, so we're like 7 months in. How has it been? And tell me all the Lambos you've bought due to its success.
I wish that book sales turned into more money for me, but unfortunately, with licensed stuff, that's usually not the case. But as far as I've seen, it's done really well. The ratings are really high on like Amazon and stuff. I rarely read reviews of my work, but because because they seemed to be like universally high, like I think it has like a 4.9 rating on Amazon right now. um I was like, well, I feel like this is probably safe to look at. And there were people on there who were like, I know nothing about cooking, but I know everything about Persona, so this is how I'm going to learn how to cook. Which was like very sweet to read. um there was one guy who was like, uh he said it was something like a hidden gem of Japanese cuisine, and then compared it to like two Japanese cookbooks that I both love and own, um, which was also a bonkers review. Just like the yeah, the love for the book has been like really, really strong. I haven't, excuse me, seen anything where people were just like, this thing sucks, you know? So that's always nice.
Yeah, and it's been one of those fun ones of like seeing people who I recommended the book check it out because it's one of those things of like I think if you're in those circles for like either cookbooks or similar like licensed things like this, you might stumble across this a little bit easier. But just because like you are a fan of this, like it doesn't mean that you're probably gonna like know this or like stumble across this. I will say I was actually surprised um the bookstore my wife actually bought this from, it was actually in like a video game kind of related section, which I thought was cool. Because obviously it'll be like, yeah, if you put it in the cookbook section, it makes sense with it, but it's like a lot of people who are probably going to buy this, this may be their first and or possibly only cookbook they've ever bought.
For sure. Um, yeah, and you know, of course, I do conventions throughout the year, um, and this is consistently since it came out a top seller, for me at my table, um, and people just get really pumped about it. And like the second they pick it up, they're like, "No way!" And then they start asking questions. They're like, "Is the burger in there? Is the curry in there? Is the beef bowl in there?" Like all the kind of like iconic um, dishes from the games, and it's very gratifying to say, yeah, it is. Especially with things like the Cosmic Tower Burger, because they're like, no way, like how did you do it? Like that seems crazy. Were you able to eat it? um, I also do like live cooking demos at a few conventions every year. And so like last year, as part of promo for the book, I was doing a live cooking demo um, from the book, and that was like very exciting to do because people got really, really pumped about those. Like really
Do you remember what you were making live?
questions and stuff. Like just yeah, really, really happy with the reception.
Do you remember at the event like which one you made?
Um, yes. So for the first bunch that I did last year, I did the rainy day mega beef bowl.
I was gonna say because like the thing with like this cookbook is like there are, and I mean there are the different difficulty levels, but like I feel like the tricky part is all the most like iconic things I can imagine people would want would be like like I literally even had a friend yesterday ask, she was like, oh, um can you like remind me like what the curry recipe is for this? And within like 30 seconds of me like sending her the recipe, her response was like, "Damn, that's a lot of work." And I'm like, "Bro, it's like, bro, it's curry. Like, what do you really be like? I gotta put my instant curry packet in the microwave, give me some rice, and it's all done."
Yeah, yeah. It's like, well, it's a lot of ingredients. That's what it is. That's cooking, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'd be a little depressed if like to make like the mega beef burger, it's just like, all right, go to Sam's Club, buy 30 frozen patties, wait 30 minutes, and then regret your life choices.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, thankfully not that. Um, oh, this year I've already done a couple cooking demos from the book, and this year I've been doing Kanji's animal crackers. That's been really fun.
So that is one I've not had a chance to make yet because I am very bad at anything baking wise, and I only say that because I've probably baked like three things in the 30 years I've been on this earth. But that's like still one of the ones I have been wanting to make really, really bad. It's been one of those things of like, okay, I have a weekend or I have something like fun I want to do, and like I've made a recipe or two with it, but I've been kind of like doling it out, like not wanting to like I would imagine. Now listen, very very shocking thing here. Not I'm not an owner of very many cookbooks, so in my brain I'm like kind of like I'm gonna pick this on like a rainy day weekend. I'm gonna do this one meal. I'm not like spoiling myself. Be like I'm gonna cook every one of these every day. I'm gonna be like I'm gonna knock this out in like 60 days. We're gonna do like 60 recipes in 60 days and call it a book.
Yeah, that's wise, honestly, because some
Well, and the hard part though is like and that was kind of one of the things I didn't really think about till I started looking at the book, and I'd be curious about how you sort of wanted to set it up. Is like, obviously, it's like, all right, we've got it split between Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5, but then at the same time, it's kind of like, all right, there's stuff from the games, there's stuff that kind of would like relate to the characters, but then it's at the same time where it's like, it's tough because it'll be ironically where it'll be things where it's like, all right, I might gravitate towards what the food is more than the character. Whereas I've had people who are like, oh, I never would have done the steak, but I love Yosuke so much, I'm going to do the Junes steak. And so it's kind of funny of like all the different directions that'll pull it of like, do I want to do this to try something new? Do I want to do this because I've just wanted to eat this versus like, oh, I like this character, I'm going to do this. Where it's like I love a parfait. I've probably never once in my life thought, can I make a parfait? I'm like, no, probably not.
That's really interesting. I didn't even think about like this is my favorite character, therefore I'm going to make this, even if it's something that I like don't.
Oh yeah, well, and I think like because that's one of those things of like I don't know how much. I don't even know what you would like kind of call this because I had this recently with like Popeyes for whatever reason is doing like a One Piece collab,
Oh,
and it's like there's nothing branded really about the food, but it's kind of one of those things of like I'm such a sucker for like themed food exclusive things,
sure.
whether it just be the packaging or whatever. And like it's one of those ones where it's like it's led me to discover a bunch of food I would never try, but because it's like, oh, like a good example, like when I was in Seattle like 2 weeks ago, the amount of like coffee like drinks I tried just because they were like, oh, we're at this like literally like this coffee shop in this convention center. They made a bunch of anime themed drinks I would have never tried, but I'm like, oh fuck it, I'm here, let me go try it.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
like just because it was like, oh, it's a character I like, or oh, it's based off a show I like, I'm more inclined to try it, even though if I just saw it normally with the name being different, like I would probably say no.
Yeah, I get that. I feel like I am the opposite because like I've been to like like themed events and like themed cafes in Japan. Um and I remember going and I think that they were doing something, were they doing something Persona related? I think they might have been. And I remember looking at all the different things and I was like, wow, this is a character I'm like don't really care that much about. But I like the idea of this drink better than like the other one. So I'm certainly a going in for flavor over character type of person, but I respect our differences.
Be like the worst person you know made the best craft cocktail.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm just very mad. I'm like, why could we not get a Kamoshida based meal in the Persona 5 section? You didn't want the molester gym teacher to get his own, to get his own plate.
Can you imagine? I feel like that would just do me in. Like that's it, canceled. Like
I'm gonna say honestly, nowadays definitely not. I mean, there was a funny thing going around this week. Did you see like that? There was like a person going around a couple days ago who like they just got their like therapist degree or like license or whatever, and they were attributing it to like Persona 5. And like from the outside I'm like, oh, like you would see that and go, oh, that's really nice, this person really liked this game and they were like motivated enough to become a therapist. Whereas everyone who's played the game was like, that's the main bad guy. Be like, but like the worst. It's like imagine be like being imagine like watching American History X and be like, damn, that Edward Norton character, he's got some good ideas going on.
oh boy.
So it's just really funny of like one of those things where it's like not everything obviously is as black as white is like that comparison, but like even stuff like that is really funny of just like, especially I feel like if you ever like had the chance of like you could do some really like out there ideas. Like imagine if like you did like a spin-off to this or like an expanded edition where it's like, all right, we're gonna give every social link their own meal. like what do you give the dying dude from Persona 3? Like do you just give him like ice, like do you just give him ice soup and a like saltine cracker? It's like, well, he can't keep anything down, but this is all he can eat.
Yeah, some ice chips and like vanilla pudding.
Just like troll him and be like difficulty level morbidly difficult. So yeah, and that was like the other funny one of like, and I don't know if this one would be on perfect because I just noticed it when I was kind of looking through the book yesterday. At any point when you were trying to decide recipes, was there ever a time where you were thinking of trying to include one for the protagonist of 3 and 4? Because obviously, like for Joker, it's really easy just to do the coffee, but it was kind of like thinking, I'm like, yeah, like what would you do if you kind of had to give the most bland self-insert character a recipe? It's kind of hard.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been kind of impossible to think of something, but I probably just would have been like, all right, well, what's like my favorite thing? you know?
No, 100%. You just got to be like, no, 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 guys, you don't understand. He loves jerk chicken. Like the
Yes.
you from Persona 4, big jerk chicken
Yeah.
fan.
Cannot cannot go a day.
And I mean, they don't say this very much, but if you play Persona 3 Reload, there's a Euro stand. That's because that's actually his favorite food. He can't eat it because they don't know what Euros are over there. But man, he loves Euros. Like he's a big kebab guy. You get this guy on anything halal food, he's all over it.
He's a big chicken and rice guys.
Oh, yes.
He's never been to one, but he read about it online, and he's all in.
I mean, I heard a rumor the protagonist in Persona 6, big Chipotle
Yeah,
guy, loves just an obnoxious West Coast burrito style. He's never been, but just something about eating a burrito the size of his fist just really gets him going.
yeah. That he cannot fathom a life without eating a kilo burrito every single day.
Now he is the most rotund protagonist we've ever seen, but we do not judge here.
Yeah,
He's happy with it, and I'm happy. It doesn't matter to
it's
me.
nice to see some big boy representation.
Oh my God, that is true. And hey, actually, that would be funny because honestly, out of all the social links, I forget if it's the Food King or the Food Prince, but the one dude who's like the real big shithead from P3, he would be a funny one to like do like a recipe for.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So you kind of mentioned it with reviews a little bit for it. I guess this is kind of related, but I was like always curious because we kind of mentioned about that need of like even after something's been sent to print, like nothing's ever perfect. Did you find anything, or did anything ever kind of get brought to your attention after the book went out, or like after it was kind of like too late to do anything, where you're like, oh, I wish we could have done this, or oh my God, like this isn't there.
Oh, my only thing that I wish that we could have done was I wish we could have convinced Atlas that it was a good idea to have pancakes be Akechi's uh dish.
Did they put the kibosh on that? What
Yeah,
happened?
they just weren't feeling it. I think and like I agree with them that it's just like something that had been like very memeified, and they were like, we don't know if we want that to like dictate the content of the book. And I was like, yeah, I see that, but also it's what the people want. But
See, I feel like that's when you gotta pivot when they want you to turn. You gotta just be like, fine, we're giving him waffles. No explanation. Akechi, big chicken and waffles
yeah,
fan.
he he went to a Waffle House once when he was in America and just cannot stop talking about it.
The extended food lore of all these characters would be infinitely better if you had that much creative. But I do love though the idea that like some poor intern has to like translate your ideas over to the board and be like, bring it back to Atlas Japan, and then just imagine a very very old businessman sighs and goes, no pancakes.
Yeah. I have to believe that that's how it went down, and it's like it's whatever, it's fine, it's their IP, and it was we were able to take something that he actually like you see him drink this in game, so um it was something more tangibly related to the character.
Well, I was gonna say because that's another kind of character one I was curious about because when we talked, I don't know, yeah, because it wasn't fully out in terms of like kind of what would have been included or not. Since the titles that are kind of used for each game is like specifically Reload, Golden, and Royal, was there at any point where you thought of adding in some of the other characters added, like specifically the only ones I can really think that are kind of missing from the main cast of five? Like at any point were you looking at ever doing anything with like Kasumi or like Maruki or any of them?
We have something for Kasumi.
Oh, thank you. I'm literally looking through it where I'm like, I'm trying to remember if she had one or not with it.
Yeah.
But I can always save myself and be a real Uber fan and be like, no, no, no. I meant the real Kasumi. But no, we've got Kasumi's bento. That's true. It's right here in front of my face. But like with like anything like that of like the other characters where it's like, oh, these are ones that are kind of only in this, like with Kasumi, with Marie and things like that. Like is there ever that weird one of like, okay, I want to include someone everybody's going to know without it just kind of feeling like we're shoehorning in like a good example would be like I guess one of like someone who's not there like how there would be like a Metis burger or something for Persona 3.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that would have been good. But no, it was tough because like we wanted to do an even split for the games. So like you have almost exactly the same number of recipes per game, um, and so I think that that would have like messed with the balance a little bit. And we also wanted to make sure that like um, like all the stuff that you can like actually buy, like either like as part of a social link thing or like as something that you can actually buy from a restaurant or a food stall. Like we wanted those things uh, in there because they're like so ingrained in the games.
And when you were going into it, was there like a hard page count we were trying to keep it to, or any restrictions like that during the like concepting phase?
No, no page count. I usually get told how many recipes they're looking for, and it's usually a range, but this one they were very specific about. Of course, now I can't remember what number of recipes we ended up with. Um, I want to say 55 maybe, because I don't think it was
Hmm.
60. Um, and yeah, so we just had a specific number of recipes to hit.
And another one I was kind of curious about, because we talked about this before it had gone to press, and I know the cover had even kind of changed template wise. One of the things I had brought up when we had talked was Atlas being very picky about cover art matching the game it was with. And I noticed that like originally back when we had like talked, not the first like text cover, but like one that looks like the closest to the final one was like back when the game logos were still on there. Like, do
Yes,
you know which one I'm talking about?
yes.
And like how that art was like specifically not from the golden one. And I remember bringing that up, and I would be like, I feel like this has to change because like Atlas loves saying no to things, and I'm like, someone's gonna be like, no, 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 that's the PS2 art. You got to use the Vita art. Yeah, if you can't use the Vita art, you got to get out of here.
Yeah, I think the publisher specifically was like, we would really love it if like all three characters like looked more like unified. Um, and so they were yeah, I think that was a conversation between the publisher and Atlas, and I'm glad that it worked out the way that it did.
And honestly, I'm always a minimal person when it comes to like design myself with it. Like I think in terms of like obviously having the word persona on a cover 4 times, putting that thing aside, I think without the logos, the characters are so iconic looking enough that like you don't really even need it. And especially with all the different logos for all the different re-releases, it just makes it messier anyway. Whereas like, so is this only gonna like and I'm sure like people even had brought this up where like, so is this only from Reload? Like, are there not gonna be any like? And again, because it'd be like, oh well, where's the female protagonist things, or oh where's these people? Where's this people?
Yeah.
Where's Baby Yukiko? I want Baby Yukiko's recipe.
It's just mush.
Yeah, you just get a can of Gerbers and things like that with it. So like I think the whole design and like the cover and everything turned out really nice. And especially I'm such a sucker for like spot gloss embossing or whatever, and
Same.
like having the logos on the back like that I think was really really clean. Now obviously and we talked about this before, but it's even more apparent now is very funny of the amount of people, and I don't know if it's just amplified because now we're in the 30th anniversary. It is just so funny though of the amount of people I've showed this to. Be like, oh, couldn't get the P1 and 2 art, but couldn't get the P1 and 2 cookbook. I see, but I've been like, listen, we said the same thing last time. If you guys buy 9 million copies, they're legally obligated to hire you again and make the Persona Origins
Yeah,
cookbook.
exactly. And I
If you thought you had creative liberty with this one, imagine imagine those would be like I could just give them anything. We could get everyone eating hummus and chips for the rest of the game.
and of course like halal guys, chicken and rice.
Oh man. Someone I gotta imagine someone in the cast of Persona 2, big bacon, egg, and cheese
Yeah.
fan. I don't know who, but someone in there might be like Lisa or someone. Someone there is going getting a bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese every
Yep.
day. The only person in Japan doing that, but someone in that cast is doing
Yeah,
it.
there's only one place in Japan you can get exactly that from.
So I then have to ask. I always love asking questions I know the answer to already, especially when they're no. How excited slash disappointed can we tell people who would like a Persona 1 or 2 cookbook? Are we at least? I guess I should say this because obviously you're not going to announce anything here. Can we tell them to stop holding their breath, or is it more of a possibility than it was a year ago?
I have no idea if Atlas or Insight Editions has any interest in pursuing a Persona 1 and 2 cookbook. I'm assuming not, but I won't speak for them.
I mean, we brought this up earlier with it. I think this is a great time to test the market on how are these unofficial cookbooks doing.
That's true.
We're gonna be like, listen, if Big Brother won't be publishing my niche 30-year-old PS1 cookbook, I don't know why they wouldn't. Sounds like it prints money on its own. We're gonna be like, listen, guy, we're gonna put this out there. Will it be put on 8.5 by 11 printer paper, stapled together? 100%. But if you guys don't buy it, then that's on you. We're gonna be making it now. Will it also just have crayon drawings of the food because we couldn't afford a photographer? Also, yes, but that's part of the charm.
Yeah.
So please let us know if you would like the unofficial cookbook in the comments below, because it definitely will not happen. But I would like to know if you want that.
We're just trying to gauge interest at this point.
Yeah. It's like we can't do a Kickstarter because we'd get sued into oblivion. So we're like doing like the next best thing. Like we're doing a change.org petition for like, can we bully Jarrett into making an unofficial bootleg
I
cookbook?
can't wait to see the 6 signatures on that thing.
Spencer, why are 5 of them from you and 1 your mother? Like what happened?
It's nice that she's so supportive of your dreams.
I may have just logged onto her computer and just tried to knock one out myself and make it look a little bit more
That
authentic.
tracks, actually.
I was thinking another thing I was going to ask with it. So, kind of going back to the book, were there any other things that either surprised you once it was out, whether it be in terms of like reception, things you saw sent to you more? Because I imagine like a large part of it is like once it's out, you probably just get like the most stuff you hear from people is less, oh hey, I got the book, and more, oh I made this, and then like tagging you or something like that.
Yeah, and those are like my favorite. Those are my favorite notifications to get on Instagram is when people have made stuff from my books, and they tag me in it. And I think I was just at C2E2 a few weeks ago in Chicago, um, and somebody bought the Persona cookbook, and like I don't know, like a day or two later, she had made the curry, and she was so excited about it, and I was like, yes, this is what I'm here for. Um, I think I think the curry is like one of the more popular things for people to like make as their first dish from the book, which has been really cool to see.
And I forget if we talked about this, but the funny thing about the curry recipe being kind of so hot with the book, this is actually one of the few recipes that like Atlas West themselves like actually released a curry recipe back in like
Yeah,
2022. And I remember being like, "Oh, that's really cool" and stuff with it, but like if people still are like, "Oh man." Like I don't know like how many generations of like weeb curry that Persona 5 inspired, but like it's still even kind of one of these days like it's not one of those things that like you go always just kind of like imagine as like a safe bet to assume everybody likes.
yeah, I think it's such a like it's such a big part of like the main character's relationship to Sojiro is like learning to make the curry. Um, and there are so many ingredients in it, and like it's just really fascinating. Like it's like a dish that kind of like took on a life of its own outside of the game because like you said, Atlas released an official version of the recipe some years ago, and this obviously like this my version is kind of based on the version that they came up with, but also like Binging with Babish did an episode that was fully based on that curry recipe, and like it. I think that there are like lots of iterations out there of like like YouTube or whatever like online chefs making their versions of this. Um, and now there are 2 official versions that you can also make, and it's just neat. It's like we're really going for it with this curry recipe.
Oh yeah, so since that has been out, I know before the show had started, we were talking about how you've got some like more comics and stuff coming up this year. What are some things that you've been working on since the release that people who haven't been following you might be want to be aware of, whether it be comic or cookbook wise?
Oh, sure. Let's see. So I have three cookbooks coming out this year. Um, One I think like hasn't really been announced or anything just yet. But one just got a cover reveal online. I don't know if it was like an official cover reveal, but the cover is up on all the listings, on all the places where you can buy it, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and stuff. But I did the official SpongeBob cookbook. Um,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. That was a really fun book to work on. Um, and then in November, I have a really weird one coming out. Speaking of like obscure uh, and extremely random, but I am doing a cookbook for a 60s film called Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Um, this if any of you listeners are fans of Mystery Science Theater 3000, or Cinematic Titanic, both of those entities have riffed this movie. Um, it is a buck wild film. Just a quick synopsis, basically. uh, Martians get TV from Earth, um, and all the Martian kids are just kind of becoming like TV watching little drones, and all the adults are kind of worried. So the eldest Martian is like, "Well, here's what we need, gang. We need kids to have like fun, um, and play and have joy." So the leader of the Martians is like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna go down to Earth and kidnap Santa Claus and make him do Christmas here. Um, we're going to enslave Santa Claus and make him do Christmas for all of the Martian kids instead of for Earth kids." So they do that. Um, and then he gets there and he realizes that one of the Martians is an awful lot like himself, and he installs him as his like Martian counterpart, and then goes back to Earth. All the while, one of the Martians who is like, "No, kids need to just keep doing what we say and existing as they have forever," he tries to kill Santa Claus throughout the movie and fails. The end.
That is like so funny. I just found like the listing and stuff for it. So I've seen the movie, but that is, I will say, going back to our last point about making overly niche cookbooks no one would ever buy, you're not helping our case of getting people to stop bugging us for the Persona 1 cookbook if you're also doing Santa Claus saves the Martians.
Yeah. Then
Was this like a tax break? Was there like a loophole? Do you now own the rights to the movie? Like how did this come together? This is so wild.
isn't it crazy? I think the point is that nobody owns the rights to it.
It's like, listen, it's a free for all.
It is a free for all. That's how like Mystery Science Theater did a bunch of stuff. Was like they could screen movies on like Sci-Fi and Comedy Central that nobody really owned the rights to. So like they could go on, they could do their show, they could make fun of the movie as it played. Um, Whereas these days, like there's riff tracks, which is run by a lot of the same people, and like they just record audio that you can play over any movie. Well, whatever movies they've decided to riff. So like if you wanted to watch like the new Star Wars movie with three Midwestern men making fun of it, um, that's a thing you can buy. So yeah, this was like a thing that just like you can just kind of do whatever you want with it because nobody has the rights to it. Um, and so I worked with a small indie publisher called Gungnir, and yeah, we made this bonkers book, and it looks really good. I've seen a bunch of the photography and stuff that we did for it. The cover is really cute. Um, I think it's going to be a fun
I think the release timing also helps that it's like right before Christmas, so it's like you will find whatever niche you're gonna find in that release timing. Like at least you're not like dumping it in like June or something.
Yeah, and I that was absolutely on purpose, and I think like you know the publisher and I all we all agree like this really is going to be evergreen. Like this movie's been out for like 60 plus years at this point, uh, and I'm going to say the phrase people are still talking about it, but I don't mean that in the like it's in the zeitgeist. It's just that you know there are some people that are still still aware of this movie. um so yeah, we'll see. It's like there no licensing fee had to be paid for it, so like save a little money there and get to do something really fun and goofy. I'm pretty pumped for it. It's all like my like vision for it was like, oh, what if we do like 60s Christmas dinner party as like kind of the theme for the book. So it's like a lot of like updated 60s dishes like chicken a la king, and like there's a big jello mold, and um there's a slightly more upscale version of something called a bologna cake.
Oh yeah.
That's in there. It's instead of bologna I did mortadella um with mascarpone and pesto. It's actually came out really good.
Dang.
Yeah. Um, so it's a weird one, but I really got to have a lot of fun with it.
I my only the only thing that would like hurt me is I would be so hard pressed to try and change the name only because the idea of calling it Santa Claus Cooks the Martians sounds so much
Oh
funnier.
my god.
But you have to keep the name. But you have to keep the name, otherwise people are going to be like, no, no, you don't know. It's for the movie. So like you got to keep it in there now.
Yeah, we're already barely hanging on by a thread with
Yeah, nothing like a yeah. What is it? Nothing like a 70-year-old thread to keep those cookbooks relevant.
that. Yeah. um, but yeah, aside from cookbooks, I have a webtoon coming out next month, which is still all I can say about it. Um, I think we're like rolling out our marketing stuff for it like in the next week or so, which is very exciting. But it also means that I cannot say anything other than I have a webtoon coming out. Um,
There will be pictures and there will be words. I cannot confirm or deny how gay these words will be.
they will be gay. That's for
No,
yeah.
spoilers, everybody. This will be this will be outside the bubble. This is a first for you.
Yeah, yeah. I've never written a gay story in my life. Don't even know what being gay actually is, but here we are. Um, and then actually, I'm in um, an upcoming issue of Star Trek, the comic books, published through.
Is that?
I-
I was gonna say, is that IDW or who is the
it,
Star Trek's name?
yeah, it is IDW.
Okay.
I'll be in their Star Trek Celebrations issue, which comes out, I believe, next month, just in time
Oh, sweet.
for Pride. Yeah, I have a short story in there about Sulu meeting his husband. So this is the movie universe, also known as the Kelvin universe, if that's a thing that you follow. Um, Really pumped about that. That was a lot of fun to work on. But the big comic thing that I'm very excited about is that the sequel to Chef's Kiss Again, finally comes out this October, and I am so excited for that. I've been going through the PDF design proof. It goes to it like we are sending the files to the printer next week, so I've just been like crunching on trying to get through. And make sure everything looks exactly right.
Now, is it too late to change the title to Chef's Kiss 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Unfortunately, yes.
Because like it was like, listen, I know you'd like to make money from this. Have you considered not doing that? Have you considered just absolutely making the worst subtitle
I have.
possible? But the problem is, when I discovered Electric Boogaloo, That has never not made me laugh when I think of it being a sequel title to anything I am
Oh,
associated with.
100%. That lives rent free in my head for the rest of time. Like, absolutely, no doubt.
I wish I could remember where I saw it. There was like this was like very long ago, but I remember like one of the earlier ones I saw was someone made a fake a mock-up of like a sequel to Rent. It was just Rent to Electric Boogaloo, but another colon. They still have AIDS though. And I was like, just in case you were worried they might be doing like a new generation thing, like no, 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 don't worry, don't worry,
Everyone's still doing real bad.
it's still them.
Yeah. Oof.
Also, I pulled this up only because I was looking at the bookography here, and I have to ask you. We're in a year of a lot of anniversaries and a lot of releases. Obviously, you've worked on things like Pokemon, Persona turned 30 this year. How and why have you been hiding from me that you worked on the unofficial Grand Theft Auto cookbook, and what can I do to change this in my life?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That also came out last year. I think that was a spring release, maybe?
I mean, Amazon likes to be wrong, but on Amazon it does say at least the hardcover was October last year.
October. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, I guess that is when it came out. I really like I had so many books come out last year, which is like not that's not meant to be a brag. Like I worked.
Listen, I mean, listen, we brought you here to brag. That is kind of like half the reason you're here
Well,
for.
that's fair. You know why I'm confused is because I wrote it in the spring because it was unofficial. There was no like there's no license or approval process for that. Like it's all just done in house. Um, so that one, yeah, was just like, yep, uh, kind of whatever you want to do, and we just like we did a lot of just like nods to all the different gangs and different factions and stuff. There's some stuff from like the restaurants that you never actually eat at. um yeah, that was fun. That was a fun book to work on.
I'm gonna have to look this up now and add this to my collection as an avid Grand Theft Auto fan, and also as not only a way to support you. I do have to say I was dying looking at the photos because I was like, how on the nose are we gonna be with just like, all right, how do we make it more Grand Theft Auto? Put some bullet casings next to that
the
coffee.
the photography
Like
made me
they
laugh
might not.
so hard.
The taco the tacos with just a random pair of handcuffs next to it. I'm like, thank God. Like, so I really hope whoever took the photos had fun with
I do too. I like to think that like most of the photography teams have just had a good time working on these. um I'm looking at the listing now, um to see if I can see any of the other stuff that you're talking about. Yeah, there's a shepherd's pie with like a giant gold chain necklace next to it. That cracked me up.
Listen, subtlety is for cowards. Garth Marenghi taught me that.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Yeah, here we go. The, the the two Irish coffees sitting next to each other with some
Yeah.
bullets and a handgun.
In case, listen, listen. It's 2026. Media literacy is dead. We don't know. We don't know if people will know this is from Grand Theft Auto. Like, I'm ready to get to like, the pizza with like just a bit of Coke next to it. Like, it might be sugar, it might be like a Splenda palette, but like, we know what it actually
Oh, for
is.
sure. I think one of my favorites is though the tacos de cochinita pibil and just a pair of handcuffs next to them.
Listen, maybe it's a really kinky meal. Like, maybe it's like bedroom handcuffs. We don't know that this is all crime related.
That's true. Tacos are an aphrodisiac, as famously.
Now, like, what I love about this is like now you've got to experience like both sides of the official and the unofficial. And also, I'm gonna say if sales don't at least quadruple when GTA 6 comes out, we're doing something wrong.
That is fair. Yes, I have to agree.
Oh my God, I can't wait to just to look at the food in that game. If that game makes boobs and butts look that good, imagine what the food's gonna be like. It's gonna be next generational
That's
food.
right.
My God. Yeah, what an eclectic like authorship you've really got over the years with it. No wonder it's like that's the problem. It's like I could just talk to you about all the old stuff, but I also want to bug you about the new stuff. And I haven't even bothered to ask you, like, what have you been doing recently? Like outside of like work and stuff, are you watching stuff? Are you playing anything? Like what is the rare moments of free time you've been doing?
Oof. Let's see. I have not been playing anything. I started Claire Obscure Expedition 33 and then like had to stop because I was on deadlines, but I was really enjoying how weird that game is.
Oh, I'm sure someone's gotten the rights to it, but if no one has done this, you could make the wildest cookbook ever in terms of having absolute carte blanche of just imagine from 99 to 33 getting to do every expedition team's like favorite meal as a cookbook.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, that would be really fun.
Oh my gosh. Now I know the game is very long. How did you like Expedition 33?
Like I said, I'm not anywhere close to finished with it, but I really enjoyed it. I like the fight mechanics a lot. Like I'm eager to get back to it when I have the time to play video games again, which is really sad because it is one of my favorite things to do, but I'm just like, woof. I am
Uh,
too busy for my own good.
well, there's also like we're always I feel like in a cornucopia of things to do. Like there's never like there's nothing good to watch TV wise. There's no good movies coming out. There's no good games to play. Like so it's like we're in a constant backlog of things to catch up on while new things are also constantly coming out trying to vie for everyone's
Oh,
attention.
for sure. Um, Things I'm watching, every night, my partner and I watch like a couple of episodes of SVU, um, just to just to wind down.
Lighten the mood. Lighten the mood. Nothing gets me more riled up in the bedroom than a nice hour or two of
Oh my
SVU.
God, yeah. It's a real mood killer. It's a real bummer of a show.
Now, now, are you current with SVU by the way?
No, we're like 2 seasons away from being current. I think we're.
Are you aware SVU was in the news like not even a month ago?
Oh, really? For what?
They did let's see, yeah, in early April they did an episode. Shout out to season 27 episode 16. They did an episode that featured a VTuber and in untraditional Law and Order fashion, they actually like reached out to people. It wasn't like one of those like Ice Cube talking about video games and they're showing like Pac-Man on a Game Boy or whatever. It was like no, no, no. They did an episode about VTubers. They reached out to an actual like model rigging company. They like got a real like model made. They did a whole thing for it, and it was like, do I know any of the context of how it worked? But no, but like I saw like all the model and like how they used it in the show, and they like treated it like a real thing. Like obviously there were jokes made at the expense of a VTuber, but I just love that like some intern like was like, no, 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 guys, we can't mess this up. We can't let the VTuber community eat Law and Order SVU alive. And you know what? It was one of those rare cases of like you saw something you never see really tackle in like Western dramas or Western media at all, and everyone in that community was like, "Oh, they did a really good job with that." And I'm like, "Wow, like you never see that anymore, especially from stuff like Law and Order."
Wow, that's incredible.
In 4 years, when you get to that episode, it's gonna blow your mind.
I can't I can't wait. Also, my old roommate is in an episode of the current season. She lives in New York, and she's a fitness trainer, and she texted me like she and I, uh, when we were still living together, we were like, what if we watched every single episode of SVU? And we started at the very beginning and just watched all of it, to current at that time. Um, and then yeah, like sometime in March, I think she texted me and she was like, "You're never gonna believe this, but I might be in an episode of SVU." And I was like, "What?"
Has it aired yet or not
I
yet?
think it has. She hasn't told me about it, but
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If your friend is the voice of whoever was that VTuber, I'm gonna actually just like do a
oh, no, 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 no. She's in a scene that takes place at a gym.
on
Yeah.
brand. Man, now just imagine like if you had stayed on the East Coast, there's like a percentage of a percentage chance you too could have been a dead victim in SVU.
I know. No, I still am on the East Coast. I'm in Boston.
Okay, because I forget. Do they film like? Do they actually like film on location still over there or
Yeah,
no? Man, I don't know how Dick Wolf does it, but man, he does it.
he does. He do be doing it.
If you ever think as a creative you're doing a lot, remind yourself you're not Dick
Yeah,
Wolf. Look at his workography and then feel bad about what you haven't done today.
completely
You're like
bonkers.
Dick Wolf hasn't seen his kids in months. That's why he's cranking these things
Yeah,
out.
exactly. um, when I am not watching the happiest show in the world, SVU, I have been watching the show Shrinking on Apple TV.
How is that? I like everyone in that show, and I'm awful. If something is on Apple Plus and is not Pluribus, I am terrible at watching it.
I love it. It makes me cry, so it's very cathartic. Uh,
I just love anything with Jason Segel. He's like just like seems like the coolest dude.
yeah, and he's great in it. I mean, Harrison Ford is incredible in it. Um,
Surprisingly, by the way, because it's a side of Harrison Ford he normally doesn't get like cast in.
yeah, it's like it's very gentle, vulnerable, like introspective Harrison Ford, and I love it. Um,
I forget. There is a great interview because like is it season 2 of Shrinking Rain?
they're on season 3 now.
Okay, so there is a really good interview that came out like a month or so ago with Harrison Ford for it, where he was like talking about how like for years he's had a not very like public thing with like social anxiety for a really long time, which considering the way he acts a lot in like interviews and stuff makes a lot of
Oh,
sense.
totally.
But it was just really funny because someone's reply to that be like, I pray to every god out there in the universe that we can take all of the bad negative emotions in Harrison Ford and just transfer them to Jared Leto as quickly as
Oh
possible.
my God, I saw that post. I saw that post. Yeah, yeah, he deals with like social anxiety and depression, which like, oh, that's news to me. And news to a lot of people, I'm sure.
Harrison Ford just seems like such a like an interesting guy. Whether it be like I don't think like he's like he's like not as deep as this comparison is going to be, but one of those weird ones of like a person I enjoy creatively following, even though I'm sure if I ran into them in real life it would be a nightmare. Like I imagine what if I ever ran into like a Larry David or a David Lynch type would be, where it's like I find you so interesting, I'm sure I would have a terrible time if I ran into you. Like I'm sure I would have just the worst foot and mouth syndrome or
Oh,
something.
for sure. I once like brushed past Larry David in New York, and it like blew my mind because we were like in a crowded little area. I think like I was by like one of the ferries, I think, and he was getting on, um, or like going toward getting on, and I just like brushed past him, and I was like, that guy looks really familiar, and I like turned, and I was like, oh my, and just internally, I was like, holy shit, it's Larry David. And I was like, wow, wacky, and then just went about my day, like didn't stop him, didn't anything. And I was like, nope, not gonna invite this into my life.
Be like I'm not gonna be that guy.
No.
I must resist being that guy today.
Yeah, and I often try to do that because um yeah, I just as someone who also has like a degree of social anxiety and just like I don't know, like uh not listen, I'm not famous, but I'm like, you know, getting to a point where like I'm recognized sometimes. Like I think I got recognized in at Boston Pride like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and they're like, "Hey, aren't you Jarrett Melendez? Didn't you write Chef's Kiss?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, hello." And it was so weird to like be recognized, and like these are folks that get recognized like everywhere they go, but just that like yeah, I don't know. It's like you're just trying to go about your life, right? Um, it's easy to put yourself in those shoes just to be like, if I were going about my day and like 90 people tried to stop me to talk to me, tell me about a thing that I did that they love, or like get a picture. It's like on the one hand, it would be like, wow, this is like really gratifying to like know that you had an impact on people. And on the other hand, you're like, I am just trying to go to the corner store to get a bag of chips. Like I just want to do a task without getting stopped 9,000 times.
Well, and that's always got to be one of the weird ones of like, I think because there are so many different levels of famous, not even like real life and internet famous, but especially like those ones of like, I've even had times of like where like I will see someone and be like, oh, it's this person from this, or it's like, or it's that from that. Of like, I think it's one of those strange ones of like, there are so like because so many people are kind of like brought into light, whether it be like through influencer culture, creative culture, or just like acting or things like that, that it almost kind of overrides like our senses to it, where we kind of get null to it, especially like to the point where it's like, yeah, at a certain point, like unless I literally had Tom Cruise next to me, I could probably have almost anybody next to me, and I'd be like, oh, okay. Like that's a person. Like the we kind of have very few of those people who would be like a whole, or be like a holy shit, insert name here.
Yeah, for sure. And plus, like, I mean, you go to a bunch of conventions. I do a ton of conventions. It's just like, yeah, like they're just around, like it's whatever.
I mean, listen, they're literally sitting at a table waiting for you to go up to them. At a certain point, it's just rude if you don't say hi.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I don't know. Celebrity is just like not a thing that like I get excited about, Like like I'm not trying to get autographs. I'm not trying to get selfies with like people on-screen talent.
Well, that's my favorite thing, especially like I'll tell people about actors that I've either talked to in person or like had on the show and stuff. Like I've geeked out so few times about almost anyone I've ever had on here. But to the point where like I'm such a weirdo in the sense of like I almost never really want anything like autographed. I'm not like the kind of person who's like, oh my God, I'm gonna wait an hour and meet Kevin Smith or whatever and take a photo with him for $100. Where like for me, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like the only time I've ever met like a lot of famous people is usually just either through a interview or like happenstance. It'll be like a good example going back to Kevin Smith. My only interaction I've ever had with Kevin Smith is in a gas station, just running into him and just be like, "Oh, hey, it's Kevin Smith. Let me just say hi to you real quick," and then I went on with my life.
Oh, that's incredible.
Well, I mean, it'll just be like other weird things of like, ironically, I have met both Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. Ironically, not together. I wish the story for Kevin Smith is cool as that Jason Mewes. I was at a Walmart once. And I heard some dude like ranting and raving at his phone. And this was like 2021, 2022, like early-ish, like into COVID, but not like super, super COVID days.
Hmm.
And I was like, this dude, it just sounds like he's tweaking out in this Walmart parking lot where I live. And I was like, but he sounds kind of familiar. I want to go up to him. And then I was like, holy shit, that's Jason Mewes. And it was just Jason Mewes doing cameos on his phone, just cranking them out
In a
in,
Walmart
in the
park.
Walmart park. Because he was in town for like a convention or something, I
Oh
think, and he
shit.
just like listen, man, like especially during those days when Cameo was like really big, like you gotta imagine like he was like, listen, if I don't just do these right now in the Walmart parking lot, because a lot of them are just super informal or just like at home or in the car, and it was just like as soon as he was done, I went up to him, I talked with him for a few minutes, he was super super nice, but I just loved that it was like, nah, dude, for a good 10 minutes, I really thought this was just some tweaker at my Walmart.
That's that's wild. I love that he was doing them in a parking lot instead of like in his hotel room or like
And that was like the thing too of like, and again, like these are people definitely more past their prime in terms of like popularity and stuff, but like even for that it was like he's like these are not dudes who are rolling around with an entourage. Like he's probably going back to like the Marriott or like the Holiday Inn Express or whatever, like very like humble cord stuff with it, which like I'm totally fine with that because like the ones like that I always think would be funny, but like imagine how awful it'd be like if there's someone you really wanted to like not even like see but like just say hi to or whatever, or be like, oh hey, I'm a big fan, and then they've just got like 20 people rolling deep with them and be like, oh well, you might as well have just not even been here.
yeah, that's wild. Ay, ay, ay.
Now, kind of talking about conventions a little bit, I had a convention question for you, and then we can kind of wrap up. I've got some like user listener questions and stuff.
Awesome.
Con- Conventions have been going through a very interesting thing over the last year, especially I would say, because I've been noticing a lot through different conventions, especially because I was looking at like the ones you kind of go with it, like anime conventions and comic conventions, especially with how many kind of popped up post COVID. I kind of felt like we were getting to the point where like, man, we have like a lot of these, and I don't know how a lot of them are getting sustainable. And like some of my favorite videos I get on my feed sometimes will be people who go to conventions, whether it be like guests or like artists who are like going for like whether it be their booth or just like things like that. I love getting like someone doing a story. Like if you, I'm just telling you, if you ever like just want to make like a Instagram reel of just like here's what happened all 3 days of this convention just from like your perspective, I eat those videos up. Like those are my favorite. Like I don't care about the money, I don't care about how well it was. Like mine are like, what was the foot traffic like? Was it a lot of people? Was it really slow? Was the staff cool? Like all because like every convention is a total crapshoot. Like you never know until you're there. Even if it's like a returning show, there's always that factor of like something could go horribly well or horribly wrong this year. You just don't know until you're
Oh,
there.
sure. Huh. Yeah, I'd be down to do that. I feel like um my convention experiences are like largely very positive. I I tend to do a lot of the same conventions um every year. Like I do all of the Reed Pop shows. So I do Emerald City and C2E2 and New York and SuperCon. So I've already done Emerald City and C2E2 this year. I'm doing SuperCon in July and New York in October. Um, I did AwesomeCon this year. I'll do Rose City as well in September in Portland. And so yeah, I do like a lot of the same conventions, and so I kind of have like a little fan base in every city that I go to, which is great because like I if I go to Portland, it's like all right, well I'm certainly gonna see like these like 10 people because they come to my table every year that I do this show, um, and it's kind of fun. And sometimes I end up like becoming like really good friends with people that I have like met at my table. Um, like there's these two guys that come to my table every year at Emerald City in Seattle, and uh, have become like very good friends with both of them. It's a this married couple, and love them to death. And now every year, like I go to Emerald City and like I'm there like a couple days before the show starts, and I'll always get dinner with the two of them, and they'll come to my table and like come hang out and say hi. And this year like had dinner at their place, which was really nice. It was like, oh, this is like probably the first home cooked meal I've eaten while at a convention or like while in a different city for a
Oh
convention.
yeah, I was gonna say, especially for a convention, yeah, it's gonna be anything that's not just fast food or a or like a sit down place is gonna be rare.
Yeah, super rare. Um, and so I think like that's really nice. But yeah, I have so far this year I've done 3 conventions, and they're all ones that I've done before, and I was up from last year in terms of sales. Yeah, I don't know. I like being on the road. I like visiting the same bunch of cities that I usually do every year. I try to add like 1 or 2 new ones each year, but um, on the other hand, also trying to cut back a little bit and do fewer conventions.
Well, I was gonna say, and sorry if you hear the like lawnmower going off outside. The one of the things I thought was funny was like looking at the list, and even like as someone who like I feel like by normal people standards I go to a lot, but I'm in a weird case where like if I'm going to a show, it's usually either I'm going to be doing something there, or like if it's a show or like doing a panel or whatever, which is very different than like I've got a booth. I'm here for the whole weekend, which honestly is kind of almost like a better way, especially for someone like you, of just like getting people kind of aware of like what you do and other things out there like that. But I was curious, like for you, especially since you like go to a lot of the same ones with it, are you still signing up for them in terms of like, are you signing up as like an artist booth? Are you being invited and getting like a guest booth, or is it kind of vary from show to show?
I really only do shows that I'm an invited guest for. Um,
I mean, going free is great. I've been telling people for years. I don't even know the last time I paid tickets for a convention. I'm the worst person to ask. People like, "Do you think this convention's a good value for my price?" I'm like, "Sir, I haven't paid to go to a convention in like 15 years. I am the worst person to
uh,
ask for price reference."
I couldn't even tell you the last time I went to a convention just for fun, honestly. Um, and yeah, for years now, I've only done conventions that I'm like a guest at. Um, so that's I do have like a little bit of a skewed perspective for that reason.
Well, and I mean, it's always different, but at the same time, it's kind of one of those things of it's one of those ones where it's like for me, I don't ever view it as like, oh, I'm getting this thing for free and I'm not doing anything in return. It's like there's a monetary thing for like you either being asked there. Like so for me, I am still very aware in the sense of like, oh, I don't get paid. I don't get paid. Like I don't go to these things because I'm ever asked almost ever. Like out of like give or take maybe one or two shows I've gone to for years now at this point. But a lot of the time, like when I'm like applying to go somewhere, whether it be for doing a show or doing like press or covering it like that in my brain I'm like yeah well I'm covering it like I'm doing something in return of like what would just be just going to this thing anyway and at the same time when I've like enjoyed talking to like people who are there like especially like voice actor guests or artist guests it's very different because it's one of those things that, and I'd be kind of curious because I have a lot more of a familiarity with like voice actors where it's like, all right, I'm invited to go to this show. I know what's covered. I know travel might be covered, board might be covered, but then at the same time, there's those weird ones where like, especially the voice actors, it's a lot more common now to kind of have that like minimum threshold of like, okay, I need to make at least like this much money for a convention or the convention like makes up the difference with it like does that kind of even still work for like you when you get invited out somewhere?
Oh, I never ask for a guarantee like that. And honestly, like I wouldn't even know what to ask for. I do occasionally get appearance fees. Um, and especially like if it's like not a convention, but if I'm doing like an author talk at a library or something like that. Um, but yeah, I don't I wouldn't unless it was like a brand new convention by like people brand new to the industry. Like I wouldn't any of the conventions that I currently go to, like I don't feel the need to be like, hey, I need to I need to make sure I'm going to make this much money, otherwise I can't do the show. Just because like I do the shows that I do because I consistently make about the same, if not more, every year that I do them. Uh,
Since you do a lot of the read ones have you ever been asked or ever been interested in going to any PAXs?
I would love to do PAX. I think the teams are different. So, like the person that I speak to for the Read Pop shows that I do is not the same person that I would talk to if I wanted to do PAX. Um,
Because I feel like at least with the stuff that you do, at the very least, I feel like you would definitely do well at either like a PAX East or a West. Not like at an Unplugged or any of like the board game centric ones, but I'm like I feel like there's at least enough crossover there at that point where like I think that would be kind of a cool one if you have not ever gone, especially.
yeah, I've never tabled at a PAX before, but I have gone to PAX East once, maybe twice. I've gone to PAX East twice, and I have gone to PAX Unplugged like two or three times. Um, yeah, I think I would do super well at a PAX, just because like so many of the books that I do are video game related, and honestly, like even the ones that aren't, like people, there's so much crossover between fandoms these days that it's just like, well, okay, like maybe I don't have a video game book that you like, but do you like do you like Wednesday? Do you like are you a Percy Jackson fan? Like you might be.
Yeah, like there's so many crossovers of fandom now. Like Ironically, with the exception of like one, I feel like most conventions, we can just call them like conventions. Like, if you like comic books, you probably like movies. If you like movies, you probably like anime. If you like anime, you probably like games, and so on and so forth. Like, those vibes are very similar between different shows, even though they are very different kind of demographics when you look at them on paper. The only ones where I always kind of draw a line, it's a very different show just because they're so transactional based. It's not really what normal conventions are like, or like card shows.
Oh, sure.
Like, have you ever seen like and I mean, even something like a Collecticon. Collecticon is such a weird show. Like, I've done it. I think I know at least once, but like maybe twice, where it's like Collecticon is for like the big people you want to wait 9 hours in line to get an autograph for, or just to like sell and buy hundreds of dollars of cardboard.
Sure.
Whereas like you're not going there for the artist sell. You're not going there for like, oh hey, I'm gonna go talk to this like comic book artist or this like or this person in between. Like that for me, whether you liked it or not, just because it's transactional doesn't mean it's bad. But like, do you know what I mean? Of like, it's a different kind of vibe. Like when I go into a vendor hall for like a C2E2 or like a SoccerCon or something, I don't feel like this is the like, all right, how much money can every booth squeeze out of me?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Um, yeah, I know exactly the vibe that you're talking about. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Now, for you, because I haven't had the luxury of getting to the chance to bother you at a convention yet, where would you say that they normally tend to put you? Because I've been noticing it's been a lot more interesting over the years of like how different conventions like to split things up. Of like, oh, we're gonna have you all in one hall mixed together. There's no real separation at all. Versus we've got artists in this building, we've got people trying to sell you stuff in this building, and neither the two will ever kind of meet. And then other weird ones where it's like guests are in their own thing, where it's like, are you more of a fan of like when everyone's kind of together? Do you like kind of having similar things make sense? Where it's like, I always have a weird double-edged sword when Artist Alley is in its own separate room or even different building, where it's like, it totally makes sense in terms of how they do it as a convention, but at the same time, you will look at both like a vending hall or like an artist alley and be like, I feel like we could like these could be almost interchangeable.
Oh, sure. I like being an artist alley just because like a big thing for me is I just like having friends nearby when I'm tabling at a show. Uh, so I have a ton of friends in the comic book industry because that's kind of where I like really started. Um, with writing pop culture related things. Um, and so there's a group of people in the comics industry that I'm very, very close with. And if I'm at a show with any number of those people, like those are the folks that I want to be sitting next to. Um, Pretty much always. Like this feels so bad, but like I never want to be like sandwiched between two strangers at a convention, but it's just like I am not trying to make a new friend. Um, this is like not an elitist thing, but like a social anxiety thing. And like having a friend sitting next to me is so much more comforting than just like being stuck between strangers. Um, because it's just like it's a lot. It's. I mean, you've been to so many conventions. It's loud. There's a bunch of stuff to look at. Like there's a million people all around. Like it is.
I mean, even just in the sense of like whether you're at a show by yourself or not, or know someone there, it's kind of nice to just be like, hey, I know this person. I can at least know I'm going to talk to one person today, even if I don't talk to anyone I'm going to end up clicking with, or like, oh, well, if I have to go somewhere, this is someone I can trust, like, to like leave my booth and stuff with if I have to go like deal with something where it's like, no, I totally get
Oh
that.
yeah, if I have to do panels and stuff like that, like I rarely have somebody at a convention like who's there specifically to help me with my table. There's like a few exceptions. Like New York, I always have somebody there because it's just too big of a show to do by yourself. Um, and so, yeah, it's great to just be like, hey, I'm running to the bathroom. Hey, I've got to go do a panel. I'm going to be gone for like an hour and 20 minutes. Um, can you just make sure nobody messes with my table? um, and like it's sometimes I do conventions like I don't even care. Like if somebody messes with my table, it's to my knowledge never happened. like I've never come back to my table and been like, oh my god, this whole stack of Persona books is gone. It's like, uh,
This thief had immaculate taste, but how dare
yeah,
they?
this thief made off with a stack of 20 hardcover books. That's banana. That's one that's bold.
I was gonna say that honestly, I'm a little impressed. That's kind of like a power play. I mean, don't do that, but wow, I mean, you're really committed.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I've never really like had trouble with like with shoplifting at shows that I know of. Like if somebody walks up with a sticker or whatever, it's like I don't care, like whatever. But um yeah, any large scale, just like, oh my gosh, so somebody made off with hundreds of dollars of merchandise. It's like that you would have to carry so much heavy stuff to like really make a dent.
Well, I guess on that note, then, are you good to? We'll just do some questions and then get you out of here.
Yeah, sounds great.
Here we go. First one's from Twitter. This one is by, oh no, I'm definitely gonna butcher this one. Yellow Pisky or PKSPE, wherever that goes. I'm very sorry I butchered your name there.
Oh.
Obvious question. What is it? Obvious question. Which of the recipes is your favorite and least favorite?
Ooh. Let's see. My favorite recipe. So my favorite recipe is weirdly Kasumi's bento. Um, and it's mostly for the chicken portion of it. You just chop up some chicken thighs and marinate it in, I think it's soy sauce, mirin, and Japanese curry powder. It's so simple, but it tastes so good. Um, it's like it's probably the recipe from that book that I have made the most times. Like I think I even made exactly that for dinner earlier this week. um and
It's one of those staple things though of like it's not that hard to make. It's filling in it. It's an easy thing of like you can just like prep for the whole
yeah,
week.
exactly. We are not meal preppers in this house, but yeah, that is such an easy one to be able to prep and make for the whole week. And like I don't usually make the whole thing. Like I don't do the rolled omelet every time, but like I will definitely do the chicken and the rice and then like some kind of steamed vegetable. Usually, maybe it's edamame, but like usually steamed broccoli or something like that. And it's so good. It's so easy. Um, it's like my little sleeper hit for that book. I think it's just because it's so easy. It's like the lowest lift thing in that book is just making that chicken. Um, my least favorite recipe, God. Um, hmm. I don't know if I have like a least favorite. I think there are ones in there that I'm like, I liked this, but it's probably not something I will necessarily ever make again. Like I think there's
Are you telling me you're not making the legendary Yakimo every day?
I listen, I would. I love I love roasted sweet potatoes, but now if you have like an H Mart near you, a lot of them have those like um roasted sweet potato like vending machines in them now. Y-
Really? I've never seen
oh
that.
my god, yeah, it's the best. I mean it's seasonal. Like it's a winter thing. Um so it's probably done with now, but there's one of the H Marts by me has like no, two of the H Marts by me have like these big sweet potato roasting uh machines. Um and it rules because you can just like you can just grab one and just walk around and eat a sweet potato. It's awesome.
I need you to know this. The first time I ever discovered what an H Mart was, I was like, every Asian market or large superstore has to compare to this for the rest of all time, and I will be disappointed.
Sure, yeah. I believe it. And I get it.
I gotta check that out though. So I love sweet potatoes, but I've never seen. I looked up like a picture of it. I see what you're talking about. If I saw one of these, I would like lose my mind. I'd be like, no, I don't need Pokemon pack vending machines. I need sweet potato vending
Yeah,
machines.
I the first time I saw one I knew it was a thing, but I hadn't seen one in the wild until this past winter, and I remember seeing it and being like, I like audibly gasped and then took a picture of it and sent it to my partner because we both love sweet potatoes.
All right. I'm gonna keep looking while we go through questions. I will find one that you do not like. There's got to be a Sophie's Choice here somewhere. I'm like, there's got to be one of these things we can just kick under the under the bus.
Yeah,
Are you gonna tell me you're a ride or dyer for miso soup?
I
You
uh,
got all these recipes. You're gonna be like, miso soup's got it.
yeah, I love miso soup. I would.
Damn.
No, I mean, like, if there was one where I'm just like, yeah, this is fine, but I probably will literally never make it again. It's probably the senmaizuke, the pickled turnip.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was delicious, but it was the kind of thing where, like, I made so much because I had to make like a big jar of these pickles, and I was like, yeah, these are great, like they taste great, um, but I'm not trying to eat pickled turnip every day for 2 months. Um, so I guess it's probably that one, but like not because it's a bad recipe, but just because like not it was not my favorite thing.
Well, I was gonna say, especially anything pickled, let alone like a turnip with it. That one's a lot more. That one's one of those foods that like you're here for the history inclusion. Like we need the diversity higher. That's what the pickled turnip is for. It's like here you go. We've got historical accuracy covered now.
Yeah, and again, like it's delicious. I encourage anybody that enjoys pickled things to try making it at least once. It's a great side dish. But you know, I don't know that I'll be making it ever again. It was one of the ones where I'm like, I would rather just have somebody else make this for me. And I even have like a mandolin slicer, so it's not like the lift was very heavy. Like honestly, one of the easiest recipes in the book, because all you do is thinly like thinly sliced turnip and then pickle it at the end. Um, but yeah, not a bad one. Not bad. Didn't dislike it, but you know.
So this one's kind of a twist on the question. Do you feel like there's any underappreciated dish that more people should check out, whether they be intimidated or you just haven't seen a lot of people try it?
Oh, let's see. I mean, so far nobody has tagged me um in a photo of their Cosmic Tower burger. So either
Cowards.
either nobody has made it, which I find hard to believe. I'm sure there's at least one person who's made this and just didn't tag me, and that's fine. I I want I want to see somebody make this.
Now the Cosmic Tower Burger, because again, remember I'm running off of no food over here on my end. That one's from P5, right?
Yes.
I'll tell you what. I'm so creatively bankrupt. I'm going to be very honest with all of you because everyone knows this. I have zero plans for episode 500. How can I? Why would Spencer not have planned over 104 episodes away? If no one has done it by then, I will make episode 500 just be a live book bootleg binging with Babish of me making it and eating it in one sitting, and then that's just the whole
And
episode.
that's also how you die, so it's also the last
Yeah,
episode.
that will also be yeah. I mean, listen, if I'm gonna die, I might as well make some money off of it at that point with it. But at least that way, there's a time limit now. If you got about a year, everybody get it in and make it happen. Because that is a weird one where I'm like, I can understand it, but then at the same time, it's like as someone who's also made it yourself, you're like, now this is an entire family reunion worth of food for one plate.
Oh, for sure. It's like 9 pounds of ground beef. Like I I get why people wouldn't make this, but surely somebody's throwing a persona related or persona themed big old party.
I mean, it is the 30th anniversary, so I'm just saying, if Atlas has not reached out to host a company related birthday party and you're not there to making all the food for them, I don't know what we're doing here.
Listen, if you do,
Be like,
oh, go ahead.
imagine like you thought the appearance fee was bad. Wait till you see the Jarrett chef fee. The chef fee blows the appearance fee out of the
Oh, the
waters.
chef fee would be astronomical. I do not want to cook for a giant group of strangers. Um,
And I have to talk to them. Haven't you seen that hometown buffet cooking video? I can't be that
yeah,
guy. I can't be the guy asking about the sports
yeah,
game.
exactly. Like I no, you would have to pay me so much money. You would need to pay me so much that I would not work for the rest of the year.
We'll get you on payroll for a year. You got to cook them one meal, but you have to actually seem like you like it, like that's in the contract. Be like, and must enjoy it.
Yeah, for $100,000 salary, I will do it.
Damn, man, I'm glad we got a number out there
Yeah,
now. The people know the GoFundMe's getting ready now.
I would laugh so hard if somebody made a GoFundMe to raise $100,000 to pay me to cook a meal for a group of like 50 people. The gauntlet's been thrown down.
Yeah, I feel like if I did that, or like if I not if like I did that, like if I somehow like came home and I told my partner, "Honey, I'm covered for the rest of the year now." They're gonna be like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I just had to cook for a bunch of weirdos. I'm covered now. We're
Oh
good."
yeah, yeah, that would pay for my wedding next year.
All right, so next question we've got here. Oh, we kind of talked about this a little bit with the pancakes. Xeat says, were there any other restrictions you had while making this, whether it be food related, things you want to like include, like any kind of things that came up as a roadblock, whether it be from the publisher side or just any part of like production?
No, the pancakes were really the only thing that I was like, oh, we should do this, and they were like, nah, which again, totally fine. Um, but um, no, like they were really easy to work with. Like before I even really got started on a lot of the planning for the book, Atlas sent over a bunch of files that were just like it's like kind of like a dossier of like everybody's favorite dish. Um, which was like really cool, really helpful. Um,
How deep did that go?
it was it was great. Gosh, I'm sure I still have it somewhere buried, um, in my in my little documents file. But yeah, it was great. It was like they'd show a picture of the character, name of the character, and then like a few like facts about them. It was really really cool. Um, and each person had like a dish tied to them, either like a dish or like a category of dish. Like I think like Ann Tamaki was like she loves sweets, and it's like, yeah, that's great, we know that. um uh yeah, so that was helpful. That really helped shape the outline that I wrote for the book, like just kind of the initial recipe list. And um the restrictions that we already talked about was like, they didn't really want more than one um, dish per person or establishment, because you don't want to like play favorites. Um, Otherwise, like P5 would have been like 10 Ryuji recipes. um,
I mean, upon reflecting on it, you got to be honest though. Is there a little party that's like, could I not have just given each game its own cookbook?
I probably could have, and that would have been bonkers. It would have been so much work, especially if we wanted them all to like come out at the same time. Um, but yeah, like, we definitely could have fit. But then, unfortunately, like there are a lot of food items that like kind of show up in every game. Um, so it would have been like, well, each of these books has a melon pond recipe. There'd be so much room
I
for
mean,
duplication.
listen, you wouldn't have the hamburger favoritism at least. You wouldn't be like be an award for like how many different hamburgers can I put in one cookbook?
Yeah, you would be surprised.
You know what? I'm surprised hasn't come up with it because someone commented actually way back on your episode last year, of joking that we were the first ones to start leaking the Persona 4 remake. Be honest with me. Enough time has passed. Was there a tiny part of you after it got officially announced in June when you were like, could can't we just put that logo on the new book now? Now we're like, well, now we have to like now there has to be a P4R cookbook now.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's a nice logo.
It is a good look, but it was just so funny because it was like, oh, we've got all the R's, 3R, 5R. Oh, no, we're not gonna remake 4. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Because the funny thing is, like, I think they may have tightened it up back in the day. They actually used to kind of have looser lips about letting their merchandise, like, licensing partners know about stuff like that coming up. Because I remember a long time ago, that's how I found out about the one for 3, was someone had assumed that I already knew it was coming.
Oh,
And it was one of those fun instances of like, well, I'm not gonna play my hand here, but thank you for telling me this 2 years before this comes
yeah.
out.
Had they not announced yet at that point that they were remaking 4?
No, so 4 officially got announced, officially in June of last year, but the whole big hubbub with it was like 2 months before that showcase. All the old voice actors, absolutely without circumstance, and it must just be because that's when they were doing recording. All the voice actors, without anyone asking, started coming out and be like, "I'm not in it. I'm not in it. Just letting you guys know I'm not in it," which just makes us all go, okay, so A, it's happening, and B, they're all not invited back.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, I don't.
Which is like, I just think that's like one of the funnier ways for something to leak is just by all of your voice actors unrequested just be like, no, 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 I'm just gonna start not shit talking this thing, but just letting everyone know that you guys were too cheap to pay us now.
Yeah, that's like uh when drag queens go on Drag Race. It's like they just suddenly disappear for a couple of months. It's like it'd be like a regular working drag queen who like does gigs every single month, and then all of a sudden she just like disappears.
It's like, I know you did not start working a 9 to 5 after this. Something went down.
Yeah, and then they come back, and it's like, so you're on the season of Drag Race, huh?
So yeah, like for you at least, when that got announced, was there any part of you that like either wanted to like, because I mean, obviously at that point it's all way too late to change anything like actually in the book, but like, was there any part of you that was like, do we want to change the cover? Do we want to like do anything different with it, or is it all like way too late in the process to even try and do anything with P4R?
No, I mean, everything has to be done so far in advance for these things, um, that it's just like, um, yeah, it's just impossible to like change things on the fly like that. Like I did the White Lotus cookbook, and they were just like, they were very tight-lipped about anything that happened in season 3, and I was working on that book before season 3 had come out. Um, and then, of course, season 3 comes out, and it's like, oh man, like there's a ton of stuff. Lots of people will ask me like, oh, is this thing in there? Like, is there a recipe for a pina colada in chapter 3? And it's like, no. No, there's not.
And that's always the tough one. I mean, like for season wise, it kind of gives it more of a break and stuff with it, especially for something like Black Lotus. That like it's Black Lotus, White Lotus. That's like, yeah, it's connected, but it's kind of very much like each season very much has its own vibe and stuff with it.
For sure.
I mean, listen, you've now just got the most amazing opportunity if you ever get a chance to go back and do another one for season 3. You can now do the I feel like a woman feeling like myself drink cocktail or something like we give like that whatever whatever that speech that Walton Goggins had to listen to. Why am I forgetting the name of that actor? You know which one I'm talking about, where the guy is talking about how he's really obsessed with like like he was really into Asian girls, and so he started dressing up as one and inviting dudes who looked like him over.
Oh yes.
I'm like, there's got to be some really twisted either meal or drink that you could make out of that speech, because that's like the only thing I remember out of that whole season.
Yeah, I that season was
Wild.
wild.
Which by that show standard, that's saying something.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they were like, no, 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 we're gonna make like you look at season 1 by comparison, it looks so
Oh
vanilla.
my God, yeah. It's like season 3 had so much crazy stuff in it. Like the weird like revenge plot, the incest, like
By the way, not like late game incest, like episode 1 is like we were like, no, 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 we're not hiding it. This is like episode 1. You're getting it.
yeah. And I remember hearing about the incest before I saw the um before I actually watched the season, and I just was like, that's crazy. Like, what a crazy thing to put in this show. And I just like, I think I had like a greater expectation for for like what was like what that entailed. Um, and honestly, like from watching that season, I was like, oh, it's for sure the older brother like has sex with the younger brother, like absolutely, because he was like such a weird toxic male, and he's like, we're gonna make a real man out of you, and I was like, oh, this is so gross, he definitely fucks his little brother, this is disgusting. And then it was just like, oh no, it's still bad, but way different from what I was expecting.
Oh, you've subverted my expectations, and I regret it immediately.
Yeah, I was like, I regret having any expectations for what the incest plot line in White Lotus season 3 was gonna be.
An absolutely normal thing to say about a TV show in 2025. I will say I do not envy, I only fear whatever on God's green earth season 4 is going to be.
I am so excited for season 4. Is that this year or is that next year that comes out?
I forget the production timelines with it because HBO, I think they're already booked for this year, but I think it might be like early next year. Let me see.
That makes sense because I think
It started production April of this
oh,
year, so
okay,
it definitely is not coming this year. But I bet early to like early spring or so next year is probably.
got it. Yeah, I'm excited. Also, the cast is crazy.
I haven't actually seen who's in it this time. I haven't paid any attention. All I know is that they're in
Oh
cans.
my gosh. Hold on. Let's see.
I'm so glad our next question was, guys, please talk about White Lotus season 4, and boy did I hear
I
you.
know. Oh, Kumail Nanjiani's in it.
Oh man, I'm glad he's been popping up in more stuff. Like he really just like decided to pull eternally personally for a while.
Oh yeah. Steve Coogan is in it, British actor who I quite like. Helena Bonham Carter is in it.
This is solid. I'm looking through this right now. Yeah, I don't know who for their
Sandra Bernard.
casting and stuff with it, but they always do such like they do really good out of left field picks. It's never anyone like you would think to see.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited for it. I'm sure it's going to be just a buck wild season.
Yeah, I don't get sucked into TV very much, but I'm always a sucker for whatever reason. The HBO bug doesn't catch me on everything, but most things on HBO, there's at least like one or two shows that I'm like, I gotta watch this. This is weird. The only time the
Oh
only
yeah.
time I have been disappointed by an HBO show in relative recency at all, which is so weird because of how good the first season was. I cannot wait for in 10 years when the documentary comes out about that second season of The Last of Us, because it's like if you told me the entire writers room got nuked and they had to do a second season without anyone from the first, I would believe you. But man, that second season was a weird one.
I I didn't end up watching it. I like
Well, I mean, I don't blame you. It was one of those things like
started.
unless you were a diehard, it had negative reviews from the get-go, so it's like it was kind of hard to be like, "Oh, I got to check out this show everyone says sucks every week."
Yeah, which is a bummer because season 1 was so good.
The thing with season 2, I always tell everybody, the lows are the lowest it is out of the whole thing by far. But the highs, like the ironic thing is, it has an episode that I would say is better than everything in season 1 at the same point. So it's like, yes, there's
Really?
one episode. It's ironically the only episode directed by Neil. Like the one episode he did is like the best one that's out there. Whereas like every episode, it's like, oh, I like this. Oh, but you did way too much of this. Or I really like where this is going, but then this is too much. Where it's like there'll be other like certain things like I think the show does a great job of like giving you more like gives great a lot more attention to some of the side characters like I forget the name of it, but the like Dina's ex-boyfriend, he's in it way more. He's great. Like his actor is fantastic. Just Dina's actor in general, like she's really really good. But like just it's one of those things where it's like I have hope for the third season, just because I like it's Abby something. I forget the name of who they got to play Abby in the second season. But the other weird worry is that half of the writing team left. So all the people who did the writing in season 1 and 2, The only people who are left now are Craig Mazin, and Craig Mazin assumedly made all the choices people didn't like in season 2, but also Craig Mazin still did do Chernobyl, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give you one. You gotta give me. I'm gonna give this to you. I'm gonna pretend I'm gonna pretend that I don't remember you wrote the Borderlands movie. So let's just hope that this was a weird fluke for you.
Oh, the Borderlands movie.
But oh yes, questions. I forgot we were talking about HBO for too long. I had a one last one for us here from friend of the show Marsh. Said, what can we do for a mainline Shin Megami Tensei cookbook? A question I'm sure no one has ever asked you.
Oh my gosh.
Just be eating demon pieces
I
all
mean,
day.
yeah, right. I mean, if that is a thing that people actually want, I mean, y- yell at not yell, politely ask Insight Editions, um, online. I'm sure some PR person, uh, at the publisher would see those requests, and yeah, I think just like, uh, there needs to be like a demonstrable desire for a thing, you
Well,
know.
I was gonna say, I feel like ironically, that's one of those harder ones of like, I don't think getting their license to that would be hard, or even the sellability to it. I think that would be one of those weird ones of like, man, like you don't really have like a good basis of stuff to go off of. Like people aren't eating food in the game, so it's like, are you just then like making dishes that are like inspired by the demons, and then that gets into the whole like mythology thing, which creatively would be fun, but like to fill out a whole book would be so hard.
Yeah, I think if you, I mean, because there are so many games, I think like you could do it. Um, but I mean, it is Atlas, so it's, uh, it's not outside of the realm of possibility.
I
Um,
would say though, if anything, because I think we even mentioned this a little bit back when it was at this point it would have been less than a year old, but like I still feel like if there had to be one that realistically makes the most sense and would be marketing wise most prevalent, I think Metaphor still makes well and above way more sense. Like that's a game where there are literally like every character has a dish that you cook with them in the game. Every town you go to has local delicacies. Like they have drawn drawings of all these food. That one seems way more easier for the picking as opposed to 35-year-old a post-apocalyptic JRPG.
for sure. And I kind of wonder if, yeah, I mean, see that's a cookbook I would really enjoy working on.
Well, we got to they know you haven't beaten it yet, so they're waiting for you to roll credits and then you're going to get the email. So we got to get you to beat it. We don't want the fake fans making these cookbooks. It'll be complete anarchy.
Yeah, of course.
How is that going by the way? Have you had any in the last year? Did you get to touch any more Metaphor at all?
No, I have not. It's so hard because like I have to like have a block of time to just like power through a game, and it it's rare that I get that these days, just between like deadlines and convention travel and stuff. Um, that's when I should pick back up, um, because it's just so good.
Are you are you someone who would say you enjoy or get more done when playing video games like portably, like on the go, since you'll do like more travel, or do you enjoy them more like sitting down, like in front of the TV?
More of a sitting down in front of the TV person. I do have a Switch that sometimes travels with me, but usually like, if I'm traveling for a convention, I'm like so brain dead after the convention that I have the bandwidth to have dinner with no more than like four other people, um and then immediately go back to my hotel room and just like zone out, whether it's just like binging a show or reading or like just sitting in the quiet and staring at the ceiling.
That's I feel like no matter how old I get, my habit that will still never die or has the hardest time dying is every trip I ever go, whether it be long, short, or however we're going, I always lie to myself and I say, no, no, Spencer, this is the year you bring your Switch and you play it in the hotel room. And every year I disappoint myself in new ways.
Yeah, I think like I think if I was doing a convention that was like not super super taxing and I had friends there, I would like bring my Switch. I would bring like because I have two kinds of travel case for my Switch. I have the one that holds everything, including the dock, um, and then the one that just holds the console. Um, I feel like I feel like if it were like a really low lift convention and I had a bunch of friends there, I would for sure just like bring my Switch and like everything I need to hook it up to the hotel room TV and just be like, "Hey guys, what if we all just like hung out and played Mario Kart after the con today?"
Which, like,
um,
honestly is like some of
but
the
it
best like
is
stuff of like those easy setup, do it in group setting ones. It's honestly like when you go to the trouble of getting out of your bubble. Like, if you're in the bubble, it's like, no, I'm good. I'm alone in a hotel room. I don't need to play this, do whatever. But if like I'm staying with a bunch of other people and it comes up, like that's how it'll lead from like me going to bed at 11 versus me going to bed at like 3 in the morning.
sure, yeah.
Well, then on that note, we'll try and make it a little bit more positive for an outlook because we've kind of talked about other stuff coming out this year. I'm curious, are there any games that you are interestedly following? Because we've got a lot of stuff coming out this year that's already announced that is not on GTA 6 because everybody is still very scared of that game, even though half the world is certain it's coming out, and the other half of it are like, no, it's still gonna come out in like 20 more years. But is there anything game wise that's tempting you, like the Siren's Call?
Hmm. Let me think. What is coming out this year?
A lot just stuff doesn't
Mm,
have dates. That's the weird thing. Like there's a lot of stuff announced, just nothing that's like hard dated.
gotcha. Man, I think unfortunately because I have such a backlog of games that I want to finish playing, um, there's nothing that I'm like, boy, I can't wait to get that just to also not play it.
I love spending money
um,
on things I can't touch.
yeah, exactly. I would love to finish playing. Uh, well, I mean, I'd love to pick Metaphor back up. And I would love to finish Clear Obscure. Um, let's see, what's even coming out like. I'd love to get into Pocopia, which like just came out.
Are you
Um,
are you I could see you being possibly interested, especially because it's a very low stakes kind of game. Did you ever mess at all with Tomodachi
mhm.
Life?
No, I didn't.
Tomodachi Life, there's a fantastic demo that is very like it's the perfect way of knowing if this is a game for you or not. Like you can make your island, you have 3 people you can make, they get to mess around with each other, do goofy stuff, and that's like the kind of demo that's like you will know if that game is your cup of tea in like 10 minutes or 30 minutes and like have no stress for it otherwise.
Oh, well, I like that. Um, what about you? Is there anything that you're just like
I think like a
very
lot of the
excited
stuff
for?
I haven't really got to like talk about too much with it. Pragmata comes out this week. That's that new like astronaut game from Capcom with like the little blue girl.
Oh,
I really am
yeah.
excited about that just because I'm always a big fan of new IP, and especially when new IP looks like it's not going to completely bomb. That's always nice. Um,
Yeah, we like that.
Really excited for that one. The new Rhythm Heaven. It's been so long. I'm probably literally a different man than when I played the last Rhythm Heaven, but I'm very excited about that. I'm such a huge fan of like rhythm games, and especially that series is so special to me. Like I've been following that since the first one, and one of the funny things I always like tell people is like this is one of those weird ones. Of like it's not like it went away because like it didn't do well or people didn't like it. The like series creator like literally like in between the last game and now like had an entire battle with cancer and he just thought he wasn't going to be able to make anymore, so like he was able to like go through recovery, go to make this, and they announced it last year. Comes out like this summer finally, and I'm like, as long as this game comes out and is as good as everything else they've ever cranked out, I will have no disappointments. That'll be fantastic. But I mean, RPG wise, there's always like so many things kind of coming out. Like I try and look for the stuff that's kind of not my immediate niche. Like I know Persona 4 is not coming out this year. um, I feel like I'm like the opposite of you. I'm excited for everything coming out. I like too many things. I'm too excited by everything because I'm a small dumb child.
I feel like that's probably a better way to be.
I'm the glass is always overfloweth to the umpteenth degree.
I think what happened to me is that like I just used to be the kind of person that was like just really like very excited about a lot of games every year, and then I would like get too many games and then really only play like one or two of them, and then I would just have a stack of like uh, play to credits, one or two of them, and I would just have a stack of ones where like I either got bored or um didn't love it. um um and I just was like, you know what, I just need to start being like more selective with what I buy. And so now it's like, um rather than like run out and get, a new release like every month, I'm just like, what if I bought like one or two video games, maybe 3 to 4 a year, and just like really played the hell out of it. Like Breath of the Wild, like I played religiously, like just played and beat and collected every little thing. Like really got like into that. And I feel like I haven't really gotten a game that I've like gotten immersed in the same way since. Like I bought Tears
I
of the
was literally
Kingdom,
just
and
about to
I it
joke. I was like, I need you to sit down. They made a sequel.
and here's the thing though, like I saw all like the building mechanics that they put into it, and I was like, no, I don't want to play
It's
this.
a very different thing though. It's like it's not a one for one, which I totally understand. And then even like for me, like someone who loves Tears more than Breath of the Wild, it's like I still can't understand. Like not understand. I still can totally understand the almost lack of interest just because of it not feeling new. The world is completely the same. Like all this is like being used again. So it's like it's kind of less special that way with it, which I totally understand.
Yeah, I think Tears of the Kingdom was different enough from any other Legend of Zelda game that I was like, oh man, this looks beautiful. It's so much fun. All the open world, you could kind of like decide. I think more than most other Legend of Zelda games, you could kind of decide which order you wanted to go in. Um, am I crazy? Like that's true, right? You could beat dungeons like in different
Yeah,
orders.
and I mean the openness of it was funny because of like it started the game, and as long as you did that island in that order, and even the starting island and the plateau you don't actually have to do in the same order. It was that thing of like, all right, you can beat Ganon, and then you have to do this. Whereas like Tears is very much it has more focus on the narrative and having to introduce way more because the world is literally 3 times bigger. The tricky thing
Hmm.
with that is because they kind of have to hold your hand a little bit more of the islands are not all connected, so you can't just jump to them and do them however you want. You have to go this way. Then when you go here, you have to get this item. Then you have to do this, and then even after you've done that, you probably don't have the world open up to you until maybe 10 plus hours in, and then at that point it's already such a very different experience where it's not like before where it's like, all right, here you are, do whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah, and again, like I think just like I don't know, anytime a game introduces like something like the building mechanic that they did in Tears, I'm just like I'm immediately disinterested. Like I'm not trying to build like anything.
Big fan of Banjo Kazooie nuts and bolts is what you're telling me.
Yeah, yeah, number one game for life. It just like it's not what I'm there for. Like I have found that like the thing that gives me like the most joy, um and like compels me to play games the most is like a compelling storyline and becoming invested in the characters. Um so like things like Persona really appeal to me because you have like a group of kids, it's all these like different personalities, and like the storyline for 5, for example, is like this kid like stood up to a rapist basically, and then like got
Hey, hey,
uh
hey, 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 hey! Excuse me. The term is politician.
Oh my God, yes, of course. How could
Listen,
how
if we're
could I
gonna
have
be taking
forgotten?
shots, we're not gonna miss on this show.
Yeah, no, not at all. Um, but yeah, I yeah, the storyline needs to be compelling. The characters need to be like relatable. Um, and I don't, I like any game where you have to like backtrack a ton. I find annoying. Um, Things that feel like chores, the video game, I find annoying. Um, like I want to love something like Animal Crossing so much. And for that first chunk of the pandemic when everybody was playing Animal Crossing, I was very invested in my island. And then when I felt that I had kind of like built the island that I wanted and I got out from the soul crushing debt, I was just like, well, I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. The reason like Animal Crossing succeeded has actually kind of turned on other people. Of like, it's almost too pandemic coded for people to enjoy nowadays.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I believe that. Um, yeah, and like it's just not the type of game that appeals to me specifically. Like I don't think any of these games are bad games. It's just like this is not the experience that I want to have when I play um, a video game, and that's fine. That just means that I'm buying fewer games these days.
One I would recommend as we kind of wrap up, because I was thinking about it. I could see you enjoying it, and it'd be a good way of like kind of dipping your toe into if you would like Tears more. In a much more focused camp. Did you ever play Echoes of Wisdom, the one where you play as Zelda?
Oh no, I didn't.
That one is very much like it has the creativity of building solutions without you just straight up having to build it all because you're just picking from I want to use this monster, I want to use this bed piece, I want to use this horse, I want to do this, and then this still has the openness of going to different dungeons, kind of doing what you want in a very untraditional Zelda game because you don't have a sword, because you're not Link, but you're still in that same world.
Yeah, I feel like I heard so many good things about that game too. Yeah, I should get that. I feel like that would be. I feel like that would scratch the itch.
Did you pick up a Switch 2 at all, by the way, last year?
You know what? I didn't. I I like actually that's not true. I did buy one, and then like a week later I was like I don't have time
You're like,
to
why
play
did I buy
this.
this?
Yeah, literally I was like I was pumped and like I was excited for the new Mario Kart and like, just like but like the launch titles it was just like there was nothing that really got me like super excited. My partner doesn't play video games, so it's like anything that's like kind of like co-op-y or anything like that. Like, I just like don't have somebody to play with. Um, and like, yeah, so it literally sat unopened for a week, and I was like, well, this was a stupid purchase. And so I immediately took it back. Don't know what to tell you. Like I bought it on impulse because you guys had them in stock and I was excited about it like in theory, but like as I sat with it and it sat next to my TV unopened, unset up, I realized I don't have time to thinking
The
about like all the Switch games that I've
the
yet to
adult in
play.
you won out. The adult just decided, no, 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 Jared, not this year. This is not your year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I'm literally looking at like I'm sitting in my living room right now and I'm looking at my TV with my PS5 and my Switch and my Super Nintendo attached to it and I'm just like I don't even have time to play these three consoles that I have. Like why would I get a new console for that with games that like I don't even really want to like there's nothing on the Switch 2 that I like want to play desperately enough to buy a whole new console for.
I just can't believe after all this, we actually found a way to like do a full circle loop back to the Dave Ramsey app that just tells you, please throw your Switch 2 away. Why did you buy this thing? Finally,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
finally made it full circle.
yeah. We sure did. Dave Ramsey would be so proud.
Well, on that note, I've got to go think about all the bad financial decisions that are currently surrounding me in my room. But before we get out of here, Jared, thank you so much for letting me bother you again for absolutely way too long this morning.
I'm more than happy to do it. It's exciting to be back.
Now, if I do this another maybe one, two, possibly five more times, how many more times do I need to invite you back on the show for your publisher to think it's worth sending me a book?
Wait, do you not have
No,
a
I
copy?
do. My wife bought one for me, but I remember when everyone was getting them before they were out. I think I'd like reached out to you and I was like, "Who do I need to annoy? Like, how am I not the peak demo to send to one of these two?" But
That's
I always tell
bananas.
everybody I can't ever actually be mad about not getting sent something like this or like getting invited to things because the fucked up thing is I know it, they don't know it, but I also know it in my heart. I was gonna buy it anyway.
Yeah, that's
You're
fair.
just sending good money after bad at that point. So it was just like it was like listen, it's about the chance. Like listen, do I need it early? Absolutely not. Do I want to shove it in everyone else's faces when they ask Spencer, did you get your book yet? And I say I beg your pardon. No, those are just always those like funny moments of like I love when someone will ask someone will be like, "Oh, Spencer, I bet you did you go out to that preview event in LA last week?" I'm like, I was like, "Brother, I live in Kansas for a reason. I did not. I definitely did not."
Yeah, no, no, I sure didn't actually.
But yes, where can we where can we follow you? We got to follow the Webtoon news, the Chef's Kiss news coming out, all the things. Where is your best social outside of 4chan? Where can we find you?
No, noted noted 4chan. Yeah, literally have not used 4chan since I was in college 20
I know
plus
what I'm
years
putting in
ago.
the text
Uh,
description of this episode. Noted 4chan user.
um, the best place to find me is at Jamarmel, Jamarmel, on Instagram.
And everybody, I will have all the socials to like your website if you want to check out. Because I would say, especially if people like don't go to a lot of conventions and like if they do want to pick up your stuff, I was trying to figure it out. If I assume if they buy it directly from your website, is it just come automatically signed if they want that, or is it like a thing that's like after the checkout process?
No, it comes signed automatically. And I think in the checkout process, there's a place to like leave notes for me. So like if you wanted something personalized or anything like that, you can do that. Or you can also just like you can message me through my website if there isn't an option to leave a note and just be like, hey, I just bought this. Can you make it out to this person, or please write happy birthday Sam, or whatever.
What I
Um,
need to have happen now, and I'm only asking one of you to do this, but it would be legendary. Please, one of you buy a copy off Jared's website for the Persona Cookbook, and in the notes just say, write word for word the entire recipe for a Ketchi's cut pancake in this. And I was just thinking of like, listen, they can stop you from publishing. They can't stop you from being very overly enthusiastic about pancake recipes for an autograph. I think that's our loophole. And then if you have that book, you will have the only copy of this cookbook with the only cut recipe. So if you want to do that,
that'd be so funny.
just imagine being like, "Wow, you've been signing that book for a while. What are you doing?" I gotta write this whole pancake recipe now.
My partner would be like, why does it smell like Sharpie in here?
You're like, listen, it's either that or I had to make pancakes. Be happy it's Sharpie.
Oh my
So if you get
gosh.
that request anytime soon, thank you and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna send it to you with the perfect
That's
address.
true. If you send it to me, then the cease and desist from Atlas will technically be on me for giving it to them, not for you writing it.
Yeah, exactly. Loopholes, baby.
But yes, if you enjoy this show, and God, I can't think of any reason why you wouldn't. But if you enjoy this show, there are plenty of great ways to follow us. We've got the YouTube channel, Facebook group, Twitter, Bluesky, all the usual spots. Check out the Discord. All the links are in the show notes below. But if you enjoy helping me keep the lights on, pay for the hosting bills, all that fun stuff, you can go to patreon.com/SMTN. There's different benefits, getting the shows early, getting your name said for the executive producer rank. So big shout outs to all of the executive producers this week. And always, big thanks to Aaron McNamara, Twist, John Massey, Jesus Coon, Crazy Sloth, Michael Wilson, Budweiser Tall Cans, Carlos Hernandez, Cross Renren, Winnie, Jagingas, Gorosero, Solaire, Stephen Yip, Patrick Dessart, and Robert Dogman Magadellis. Thank you all so much for sticking with me for so long. And Jared, I don't know how did we go longer than the last episode somehow?
It's certainly possible. I was trying to remember as I'm looking at the
I'm
um
apologizing profusely. Yeah, we're looking. We will either be as long or longer than it. So I want you to know in my head I was like, you know what? I think I can keep it to a tight 90. This will be a great tight 90. No complaints. My wife will definitely not hold this one over my head. But no, I blew that up big time.
oh yeah, by 31 minutes.
Well, thank you for coming on, and sorry for shattering our record, but it is always a blast talking to you.
I can't wait until you have me back for episode 500 to oversee your
Yeah,
burger making
you'll
and
be
we
there
go.
like the witness when they have to do a public execution. I'll be making my own last meal before getting in the diabetes chair.
Yeah, we're gonna go for 6 straight hours. And then I'll watch the light go out of your
I mean,
eye.
I'm gonna just feel bad for my wife afterwards, not because of having to clean up my corpse. It's gonna be a lot of grease, right? Like you gotta imagine that many patties. Like where's the grease going?
Oh yeah, that's right into right into your heart.
But yes, everybody, thank you again. I will see you all next week. Goodbye, and until Jared is on next time, which will probably be before episode 500. I don't know. At this point, we might have to have you on for the inaugural season 4 White Lotus spoiler cast.
Oh, perfect.
We'll just keep getting as far away from the main plot of this podcast as possible every single time. And you know what? Not a single complaint.
Yeah, we don't even talk about Persona the next
No,
time that I'm
yeah,
on.
there won't be any news. It's fine. It's just the 30th anniversary.
Yeah,
Who expected new things?
yeah, right.
All right. Well, goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye.